Hey, Rich Homie, that you? Let go. Hey. See, I walked in with 2 cups, feeling like the man of the year. Man of the year. And a broke nigga can't understand 100 grand and need pants over here. 100 grand, nigga. Picture that, I'ma hit her from the back with my hands on the hill. I'ma fuck your bitch. And I'm smoking out the bag, but I see your man with a zip. Everybody attention on me, cause everything I say so real. And that little 30p spent on the AP, got a nigga so chill. And I got 100,000 times 5, that 500, I ain't got a deal. And I was looking lean, I ain't being funny when I say you don't drink beer. No, nigga. Got a fan that love me, I die by them and I kill. I told my niggas on the rule we got, yeah, that's never still. And you probably don't like me, nigga, I don't really give a fuck how you feel. I'ma tell you how it is, they don't let the beans spill. And you know I keep my jeans filled with money. You ain't never met a nigga like this before. That pistol on me, I keep it exposed. I done made $1 million and I didn't sell my soul. Tell a fool that I got it, and I ain't even go to college. Brand new car, and it robotic. I can tell one bud made a talk go back like, hey. Drop my wheel. I can say 2 words, make a penny just dry like, hey. Drop a shot. Them young nigga trigger happy with them guns, they gon' spray. And they'll do whatever I say. I got a brand new car today. She all on my dick, now it's all in her face. See a nigga getting rich, that's calling I sick. I done got a bit pregnant with a baby on the way. Said time to eat, so I'm saying my grace. More money, more pump, love playing that mace. We get money this way. You broke, I said to your face. Security ain't talking my shit. I done walked in with 2 cups, feeling like the man of the year. I done walked in with 2 cups, feeling like the man of the year. They done let me in with 2 cups, feeling like the man of the year. You know I'm the man over here, get a fan over here, 100 grand over here, oh, nigga. And I'm still spending money that I made like last month, nigga. All this money. With all this money, I can do what I want, nigga. Do what I want. With all this weed, I prefer that my blunts are swishers. Bottle too hard on these niggas. Referee blow the whistle. Ballin', nigga. Shoot out with your niggas. You the type to throw the pistol. Oh, scary. It's a shootout with my niggas. I'm the first to blow the pistol. And I know you kissed her. Right after I dismissed her. You know I had to keep it in the family. Now I'm fucking her sister. Oh shit. Now her big brother Macca, he know she got smashed by the homie. You in your feelings. And I don't need no deposit, cause you know a nigga walking with it on him. Fuck nigga chocolate. And I'ma hit that pussy when it's fresh, early in the morning. Talking little kissing. Hey, it been 4 days, I'ma fuck it like I miss you. Smoking all this weed, cause you know a nigga got issues. I been locked up twice already, fucked up my name in the system. Twice already. RPT's about my first train, hell yeah, I remember. RPT. If it wasn't for you, probably wouldn't be where I'm at, so how can I forget you? Nigga, I'm still in the hood, I'm still in the trap, I'm still the same nigga. My mama still live out Greenbrier. Ain't nothing changed but the figures. Ain't nothing lame by me, nigga. If I want it, I'ma buy it, don't check the tag, nigga. Nah. Security ain't check my bag, nigga. So I done walked in with 2 cups, feeling like the man of the year. I done walked in with 2 cups, feeling like the man of the year. I say I walked in with 2 cups, feeling like the man of the year. I say I walked in with 2 cups, feeling like the man of the year. I done walked in with 2 cups, feeling like the man of the year. I say I walked in with 2 cups, feeling like the man of the year. Man of the year. Hey, the nigga lame over there on the man over here. Hey, hey.
Yo, cut my mic up, please. Yo, can y'all hear me? Yo, prime time rapping. This is Riley Escobar holding it down for y'all once again. Y'all already know what time it is, fam. This is episode 43 of the Just Send It podcast, and I ain't stumble or forget the joint this time. No, because I was actually working on it earlier at the coffee shop. So let's actually get into the show for real. Without further ado, please, Mr. Editor Twan, cue the intro.
Let's proceed with the proceedings this evening. Please. It's Riley Esco. Yeah. Yo.
what's up, fam? How y'all doing, man? Happy New Year, man, for real. Hold up. What's up, fam? Without further ado, happy New Year to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. I'm glad y'all back riding with me again for another podcast, another year, fam. Is this year two? Yep, this is year two of the joint, man, and we want to just keep this show rolling for real, for real. I do gotta say this, and I'm gonna take the small amount of time to really say this. Man, shout out to everybody who's been participating in the Just Send It podcast and that's been holding me down. Shout out to y'all. So this goes out to this shout out go out to the homie Blue, who always been in my corner. Shout out to bro. This goes out to the homie Rob. Shout out to Rob. Pony 64. Shout out to Val, my business partner, Score, our team of Yusef, Mika, Sweetest Taboo. Sweetest Taboo always come through and help with the pod. Chris, Z, and everybody, Jazz, everybody that's participated in the project, help behind the scenes, and just give me the energy and the power, and the motivation to continue with it, fam, because it do be days that I be looking like, man, I don't want to do a pod, or maybe this may be it. Maybe I should hang it up at this episode and just be done with it. But then I really do think about it and like, man, I don't want to just drop it. You feel me? I really don't want to drop it. I would love to pass the torch to someone else who's interested in keeping it going for sure. But I don't want to drop it at all. But hey, let's actually get into it. Oh, let's not forget the homie Miguel, for real. My photographer. Shout out to him. He be cooking. Like he be cooking when it comes to the film photography tip. But this shout out goes out to all of y'all. So thank you. I greatly appreciate this. I really, really, really do. But let's actually get into it, man. This is episode 43 of the Just Send It podcast. And at time of y'all listening to this, the project is actually out. Cognac and Caffeine 2 has been released on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/Starz, STARZ, music group. And you can find the album on there for sure, labeled, of course, Cognac and Caffeine 2. The EP by myself, Riley Escobar, and the homie Mega XC. So shout out to bro. And y'all who've been listening to the podcast, y'all already know that like it has been a process. It has been a huge process just to get this thing out. And I guess we're gonna talk about that in this podcast, of course. Maybe get into some other stuff, but we definitely going to talk about that. But that's mainly what's been the major storyline this past fall season was to really get this project out, but let's actually talk about that for real. But before we even talk about that, let's actually listen to the musical sounds of me, because I have to say this. Not even say this, I have to sing this. And I want y'all to sing along with me, but the lyrics go a little bit something like, it's been a long time coming, a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. One more time. It's been a long time coming, but I know. Bring it. But I know. One more time. But I know a change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Well, let's actually get into it, fam. So at the time of y'all listening to this, of course, the song is on SoundCloud. The whole project is on there, and I don't know, I may actually play one of the songs at the end of the pod, so y'all can hear it, of course. But please go over there and listen to it. The reason and I maybe need to say this. But the reason why the reason why I actually made this project was the fact that reason, not even project, the reason why I make music is I really make music just mainly for me to practice my technical skills, like mixing and sound and etc. But also I listen to music all the time. You know, everybody from all the schools that I used to go to, Towson, actually, I've been listening to music forever. If we keep it in the bean, even in high school, when we wasn't supposed to be listening to music, I had the headphones going down the sleeve and stuff like that, and right here in my palm and shit. You feel me? So I was like had it in my ear, listening to Wayne and shit. Like, and I had the iPod in my pocket and stuff. I was bumping music, and then when I had dreads at one point, I used to run the lines up my back and like put it like in my ears, right? And like when I'm not listening to music, I'll just have it tucked into my shoulder. It'd be over my shoulder like suspenders and shit. But I used to just always listen to music. But in college you know, culinary school, and then also at Towson and film school, I always had headphones on, and that's kind of how everybody kind of recognized me, because they was like, "Yo, those headphones must be glued to your ears, like it must be glued to your head or something like that, because we never see you without it." Like people see my silhouette and they just see how I walk, and then they see the fact that they see the two lumps on each side of my head, and they be looking like, "Oh, that's Twan right there." Like, I know that. Like one time somebody was like, "Is that Riley Esco?" I'm like, we was recording in the tunnel. We was recording in the sewage tunnel. I'm looking like, yeah, like who that? You feel me? And it was like, yo, I went all the way down there to tell you, I'm here, fam. What's good? I'm about to load up my sound stuff, about to lock in. How the hell did you know it was me? It was like, well, I knew it was you because of the headphones. And I was like, damn, bro, that shit fucking crazy. So I better not ever do a crime. If I do, they're gonna point me out just off the headphones alone. But I always just listen to music, and that's one of the main reasons as to why I just continue to record and make music is, you know, if I can have something to listen to and express myself and to practice my technical abilities. But about cognac and caffeine, that's what we're talking about today. So the whole project, you know, Cognac and Caffeine, came from where all projects that I tend to make come from, just talking shit. So when I used to work at this restaurant, Italian restaurant called Palio, I used to work in the front and um in the pizza pantry section out there in the dining room, and then the rest of the cooking squad, they worked in the back. So it was a little bit of like isolation between the two, because the line wasn't just centered and focused on one place, right? But I used to always go back there to make my own pasta and etc. because don't want to inconvenience other people with cooking my food when I can cook my food and I can dip and go home. So like the guys in the back, they was talking that music stuff, and like I'm serious. I wouldn't say I'm serious about music, but like when a lot of times people be capping, and let's be honest about this. A lot of times people be lying. They be saying that they make music and etc. and they really be out here in the field and stuff like that, and they don't. You know, they don't have access to that music that they supposedly is recording. The producer always got it, and he got to email them the tracks and whatever. Or um they just don't make music. They just want to be a part of the conversation. So I happened to hear the other kitchen guys talk about music, and I was like, yeah, I make music too, right? And that's when I was making like those beginner songs at Towson and etc. Before all the Escobars and all the other stuff. I was like before anything that came after, you know, 2018. And I spit something, of course. You know, I spit something that I wrote, and they was like, damn, that shit was actually kind of hard for real, right? But like everybody in the back was kind of better than me. The dude Randy was better than me. And of course my bro who's on this who I do this project with, Mega, he was better than me. You know, they had way more time and years in the game than I did, but I digress. But me and Mega, that's why I first met Mega at the restaurant, and we always used to just walk home together because we got off the same bus, hit the 7-Eleven, and then we lived like near like Park Heights and Rogers area, so we always walked down and we always talked music and etc. Right? But we always stopped in the 7-Eleven get coffee, right? So one night we was actually just, you know, chilling on the back line for real. It was like fall 2019. Was it fall 2019? Yeah, it was fall 2019. We was chilling in the back. talking shit. Cause we always be talking shit for real, talking about music, talking about relationship theories and stuff like that, etc. Talking about cooking, whatever. And he was like, yo, Twan, he was like, yo, um, caffeine to you is like liquor to the rest of the guys. Cause I didn't drink at the time like that, but all the other guys drink. So I was like, damn, bro, if we ever made a project together, a music project together, then we had to call that joint like Cognac and Caffeine. And we was busting out laughing, like no bullshit, busting out laughing. But like I found myself like always did self-reflection and remember like, dang, yo, you know what? That's actually kind of hard. Like the fact that it's called Cognac and Caffeine and both of them stuck with C's. I said that's kind of hard. And the contrast between the two. And I really just came back to bro was like, yo, like that shit that we said, that little joke thing that we said actually kind of fire. Like, would you be interested in working with me to record an EP or whatever the case may be? And he was like, yeah, bro, that would kind of be dope. And like that's kind of how we kind of actually started back in 2019, 7-track EP with 2 solo songs. So I have a chance to express myself just on something that just had me on it, and he have the same ability to, write his musical style and just express himself. And it was great. That project had a lot of my, favorite songs to record, favorite songs to listen to. It had Cafe Hours on there, which was the same song that I used for the opening song for the Cafe Hours podcast. So if you listen to that or you heard that podcast before, Mega is actually on there talking about as we proceed to get you going off that Cognac and Caffeine, proceed, which was super dope. That was one of my favorite songs on there, as well as the song Curses and Royal Decree, which is actually a song that we actually did a music video for. But it was actually a really, really good project. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was the first time for me to actually work with somebody who was way better at making music than I did, and I didn't have to force them. Like shout out to the homie Blue, and everybody else who I used to in Atlanta and all other people I used to make music with. However, like bro was the first time he was really serious. Like he wrote his verse really, really quickly. He ain't take 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months to write it. His verse always was complete. He always came in and performed it super well. And we recorded all this at my house. Same room, same space, different mic, different kind of setup. The room was kind of like flipped around, but we recorded this maybe like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and shit. You feel me? After we just did like a couple hours at work, and it was super duper dope. The only downside about that project was I haven't yet to find my sound in that project. I was still trying to figure out what was I really good at as an artist, what was my actual rap name, and then the different approaches towards music that I had and that Mega had. I was very structured in my stuff, and he wasn't as structured. My musical inspirations was people like Rich Homie, Jay-Z, and Jada. His was more like Wu-Tang. So it was like the styles kind of like contrast a bit, but like it made a really, really good project. And like I wanted to release a second one, like a Cognac and Caffeine tune shortly after that. But like me and Mega wasn't seeing eye to eye. And we're gonna talk about, collaborative projects later on for the main topic, but we wasn't seeing eye to eye. Like bro really, really, really wanted like a video for every song in the project. Like we had 7 songs on there. He wanted 7 videos, music videos, but he wanted them shot by me. And at that point, I was kind of done with the project. You feel me? We just recorded. Because it takes a while. We started in September. We started in like September 2018, and we didn't drop the project until like November, like early November 2019. So it took like a month and a half to do it. And then of course it cost money to actually do it as well, paying for the beats and etc. And it takes a while, right? And then also listening to every song and mixing every song and etc. So it took a while. So I was kind of like over it, but he really, really wanted a music video for every project. And I'm gonna say this too. If you want to look like bigger than what you are, as an artist, I guess, or as whatever, if you make a music video for your stuff, like people would be like, really would think that you really like winning. Because when we dropped that Rory Decree music video, everybody was like, dang, bro, you up next. Da, 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 da. The label was really like loving it. And it was like, dang, like all we got was a music video, and it wasn't an amateur, but it was like an amateur music video. It wasn't really even that. And like people was really like was like on it, like you up next. And I'm looking like, oh, I guess like if you can drop an album, but if you drop a bunch of music videos, people may think you winning. So it was interesting. Like that's a quick flex. Y'all can have that. Drop a music video for every song that you make, they're gonna be thinking that you really out here making a whole hundred bands or whatever the case may be, and the whole time you eating a 4 for 4. But I digress. But since we wasn't really seeing eye to eye with that, because I was like, hell no, I'm not doing 7 music videos. One music video was exhausting. We took some time apart, right? We did, but we still talk music. We still talk music, hung out, and etc. But like we just didn't focus on a group project. We did small songs like Jim Kelly, which is really dope. That's one of my favorite songs that Mega actually wrote to me. But that's part of the collaborative process. Like sometimes you and your collaborators won't see eye to eye, right? And you'll have to give it some time or give it some space. But it wasn't until about like same time around like August, September of this year, we was talking like, hey bro, like we should actually like put out a EP this year, do a part 2 of Cognac and Caffeine. And he was like, you know what, man, I'm with it. You feel me? Let's do it. And I was like, what's same thing, same recipe. And recipes is super important to me. Like we don't have to change up the formula, same 7 tracks. You get a solo, I get a solo, and let's see what we can bring. And we were supposed to have it done. I wanted everything done in November, but we didn't get it done until January, because life happens. Life stuff with him happens. Work stuff and life stuff happened with me. So we didn't actually get a chance to finish it until like shortly after Christmas, right? And then it's still, I wouldn't say it's in its complete form. It's probably like 2 components of the project that I feel need to be tweaked. But it's really, really good. But it's out now for y'all listening pleasure, of course. Like I said before, like I normally make music just for me to listen to and enjoy and practice my skills and etc. So like I strictly made it for me, but yeah, it's free for y'all to listen to it, and I would greatly appreciate if y'all go over there and listen to it. It got a lot of good songs on there. One Piece is the first song. Location Remote is really good. I like that. And I gotta say this. I actually went crazy on this album when it comes to the writing and my vocal and my performances. I went crazy on there. I always say Mega always kill me on every track that we do, because he's just way more experienced when it comes to making music, and like he's really good at writing. However, like I had to say that I really held my own on this project and didn't die as much as that first project. If you listen to the 2 projects, you'll be looking like, dang, Mega went crazy off of there, and Twan just dying on here, right? But that's something that we got like a competitive spirit between the 2 of us. But for the main topic, what I wanted to talk about, I was going to talk about something different, but and I was going to part about something different. But the main topic, I felt like it came to my mind for this part was just to talk about group projects, fam. Like group projects, collaborative work. And like for everybody who ever been in college and been in high school know that like group projects are like the worst. Like teachers assign you a group project not for you to learn how to work with other people, but like it kind of teach you patience in a way and how to deal with like bums and morons, because like group projects is always interesting, right? And let's talk about it. If you have a group of 4, you want to have the one out of the 4 is going to do the majority of the work, followed by the second person that's going to do maybe the majority of the work, but not as much as that first person. One person is going to get a free ride, and then that third person is going to be mad inconsistent, and it always work out like that. So you have the person that do like 60% of the work, then you got a person that do 40% of the work, person mad inconsistent, and then the person with the free ride. Groups of 4 every time. Groups of 3, same thing. majority of the work between those two, and then that may be a free ride on the third one. And this sucks, right? It really do sucks. It is what it is, because it's always that BS. It's either that, those other people are not pulling their own weight, they just have poor skills. So like in culinary school and in film school, is either that person do not know how to edit, do not know how to mix, not know how to saute, do not have good knife cuts, have poor time management, of course, lack of money. Like nowadays, out of school, when you do collaborative project with people, lack of money, so they don't have money to pay for whatever you're working on, whether it's pay for beats, pay to get to the locations to shoot, pay for the venue, whatever. Lack of accountability. Like if you have a deadline for something, it's like, oh, we need to have everything done by the 25th. And then it's the 25th. It's like, did you do your homework? Did you do your aspect of the project? And they be looking like, you know what, man, my baby mom was tripping. Da, da, da. And it's like, be accountable and just say, no, I didn't have a chance to do it, or I didn't do it. But a lack of accountability. And then, trust me, like it's always some bullshit or some bum shit involved, right? And sorry for all the cussing, but it's always that BS. You be looking like, come on, bro, like what the hell? And it always like hold up the production. But let's be 100% honest about this, right? Life as we know it is a damn near group project for the most part. Like it really is. Going to work, if you work and you work in a team of 10, 15, 20 people, whatever it is, everybody got to play their role in it. You got people that do all the work, right? And then they tend to get frustrated because they're doing all the work. And then you got people that just come in and get the free rides. This happens all the time in the kitchen. You feel me? The morning people tend to do all the prep work. The night people, they don't have to do any other prep work. All they got to do is cook, right? And then morning people get not mad at night people, and then night people get mad because they do all the cleaning at the end of the day, and the morning people don't do the cleaning, right? And that's a group project right there. But like instead of everybody playing that role, that's not necessarily what happens when it comes to the group projects. When it comes to the group projects, people be throwing each other under the bus, telling, stunting on the other person for real. And it just create an environment where shit is actually just toxic. Shit is toxic, shit is bad, and shit never gets done. Or you had some really, really big promising goals for the project, for the music project, for the film project, for the music video. And then like, since the group project and the teamwork and everything didn't solidify, wasn't clear, that's the last time you did it. You did one music video with those persons, and then you never did it again. Did one EP with those people, never do it again. And it's like, how can you actually, form chemistry and et cetera, if you keep doing one things with people, then it doesn't go the way that you want it to go. And then it's like, it's fucked up. You go about your own business. And I know how people is, because I used to be that person, and I understand. Some people were like, you know what, I'm just gonna ride solo. I'm just gonna put out my own projects, do the work by myself. I'm gonna write my own paper, I'm gonna do my own presentation, I'm gonna drop my own album, I'm gonna do my own music video, I'm gonna do my own event planning, my own whatever. And that's cool. You can put 100%, you can do, because people mental be like, whether I pass or fail, it's gonna be by my lonely. You feel me? It's gonna be in my hands. I get to decide whether I pass or fail or not. And that's cool. But by doing 100% of the work, you also will burn yourself out. These are the people that are self-employed. They want to do 100% of the work, and they only make money and shit only get done if they do it. If they're not there to do it, then things don't get done. But the reason why I wanted to talk about this, because like I run into this a lot. I hear a lot of people talk about, the aspect of networking and, how to network efficiently. You feel me? Like how to network efficiently, what it means. Some people don't really understand what it actually takes to actually do these collaborative projects for real. Like what type of mental it takes, what type of level of communication you must have when it comes to this shit. Taking everything personal, doing all the work yourself, feeling like the other person's not pulling enough weight, that shit be kind of crazy. And me and Mega situation, bro is dope, and that's my bro. Don't get me wrong, bro was dope. When it comes to musical concepts, he good. His strengths lie right. We all have our strengths and weaknesses. I don't know if we talked about that on this pod, but we all have our strengths and weaknesses, things that we're really, really good at, and then things that we're not so good at, right? Mega is actually really good at having an ear for music, coming up with concepts. Really, really fast and quick writer for real. Mad intelligent, always motivated. Never really flake in terms of when to deal with music, like recording music, making music, doesn't really flake with that. However, he's not good in terms of the technical aspects of music, which is recording music in the studio, mixing music and etc. He's not really, really, really good in that aspect, right? However, I'm really good at mixing music, recording music, and etc. That's kind of my area of expertise. I can conceptualize, but like he been making music for what 15 years. He been making music for a good 15 years, and I've been making music for a good 5 or so. So like, of course, he'll have more experience in that field. However, like what comes in is like a level of understanding between the two of us. If we working on a project together, he got to he might not fully understand like how long it takes to actually mix songs or like the process of mixing and etc. Like I might not understand like why he write the way that he do, why he conceptualize the way he do and etc. Right? I might not understand that, but it's super important that we, come to the table, right? When we come to the table, when we discuss this, that we actually have discussions. We actually understand like where the vibe is at, what is our mission and our goal when it comes to it, so we can meet that. You feel me? So we cannot be like at each other's throats in a way, right? And for this project, Cognac and Caffeine too. One of the other reasons why I love and I really enjoyed this project was he really wanted to learn more about the technical aspect, the mixing aspect, and etc. Right? Me myself, right? I pride myself as trying to learn a little bit of everything because I get a lot of mileage out of that. I always try to learn small pieces of interesting information here and there and there and there, because you never know what might pop up in the conversation with people, right? And I always want to have the ability to talk about something or add something and etc. However, he wanted to actually learn how to learn some aspects of the mixing element, so he could do it in the future for himself, of course, and he can understand the process a little bit better than before, right? Why it takes so long for Twan to mix it, why we can't crank out 10 EPs in a year and etc. Why it takes the other producer that I work with so long. And like he learned it. He funny thing is he actually was like in here several times when we was mixing, damn near like nodding off while mixing. Like had to lay back in the chair, like, yo, I'm so goddamn tired. To him, like, what? And I said, bro, this is actually normal. Like when I'm in here recording stuff and I be mixing stuff and I be working in the studio, sometimes like I have the beat looped and I'll take a nap for like 20 minutes with the stuff that's playing in my head, playing through my headphones. Then I'll wake up and continue to record. And I was like, it's just part of the process. And I was telling him, I said, bro, it's good that you starting to learn this new skills and stuff like that I be doing now, because let's be honest, it's going to take you like a year to 2 years to actually get proficient at this stuff. And that's the thing that I really wanted to focus on for the people that be listening. When it comes to picking up new skills, right, guys, it takes a while for it to cultivate, right? You're going to reach this fugly stage in it when your music, your new craft, TikToks, whatever you're trying to do creatively is going to be bad. And it's like, man, this shit is bad, right? And you be thinking like, this shit is not good, or you're going to walk away with nothing, right? However, if you, stick and stay with it and keep trying, it's going to eventually get to a point where you actually going to be like okay-ish. Like you're gonna have the like, oh, that joint was was hot if I had a couple more elements to it. And then you're gonna get to a point that you become like pretty decent at it, and then good, and then great. Right? It's really just all about just how much being consistent at it. However, I understand like some people just like to instantly just be good at the stuff that they take on. Like they want to start photography and they want to be good at it, or they start in music or they start in skateboard and they want to instantly be good at it. But that's just not how the game works, right? And even like for today's topic, when we're talking about working in groups, even working in groups, if you always worked solo and then you recently just started working in groups with people, you're not going to be good at it. It's going to be bad. Like you're going to either be doing all the work yourself, you're either not going to be listening enough to the feedback that other people have to bring. You're going to burn a lot more bridges, have poor experience with the partners and etc. Versus to actually have, you know, good stuff. So you gotta practice at it. And this is one of the reasons why I just so happen to enjoy um working on group projects so much myself, is the fact that like I don't have to do 100% of the work all the time, and two, like I get a chance to actually further develop that skill that I really need want to get better at, which is working on multiple projects with various different peoples, and you know, seeing what they bring to the table, seeing what I bring to the table, and how we can create some really great product. And I do got to say that we have been I have, in all the group projects that I've done with people, have created some pretty good projects. I think with me and Miguel, we did a Zoom style music video, which was really fun. We sat in here side by side. He didn't really know how to edit. However, he had visual appeal. You know, he got the vision, cinematic, you know, vision for it. So I was more like the hands and he was like the mind. And that worked really well. And that's super dope. You can go and check that out on YouTube and on my portfolio. Me and Mega's music projects is a collaborative project that we do. Me and Blue, I just added a trailer for him, and me and Blue do a lot of work together actually. Not the work is not really willingly. Hold up. Yeah, the work is not really willingly done, because of the fact that sometimes Blue just be like, how to say it, like sometimes bro be a little bit not he have a lack of confidence in his abilities, so sometimes he don't be with it. But like when I force him, right, and peer pressure him into doing a project, the project actually turned out pretty well, and later on he becomes very confident in it. He be looking like, yo, this shit was actually kind of dope, whatever. I really enjoyed myself. I went crazy in this, and it's like, yeah. But like just giving me the opportunity to work with a bunch of people has really helped me develop my ability to work in groups. And that's why like it's really easy for me to go from group to group to group. Now I did have issues. I do have issues, my own personal issues when it comes to working in groups. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I often expect people to fold rather than to actually, you know, pull their weight. This is true. So if we split the work 50-50, I expect that person to fold because 50% is too much. So what I often do is I often take like 70% of the load and give them 30%. And if they can handle that, then I slowly will cut back and give them more percentage of that, more of the work, right? But I'll wait to give them something that they can manage. I do this in my musical projects and my video projects at work and etc. I do not give new people that I collab with all of the load, because they might not know how much work it actually is. And I would say hard work is one of the things that I'm just, you know, trained in, you know, that I developed. Like when it comes to working hard, I'm able to schedule it in a way that, you know, it is not as taxing on my mental, my physical, and the other things I got to do. However, not everybody is like me, and I understand this. Not everybody is like me, so like to give somebody 50% of the work and working on a project, that might not work. Like for this, for instance, this Cognac Caffeine project, if I would have gave Mega half of the songs to mix versus, you know, just one song or two songs, the project would have took maybe like a year to get done. because he'll have to learn how to mix those other, he'll have to learn those mixing techniques on his own and develop his ear and all that stuff, and it'll take forever to come out, right? So that's one of the things that I do. Now that's not necessarily good, because like that means that, hey, you're taking on the majority of the load, Twan, and you should actually divvy it up a lot more. And that's when we working on projects when it's just two people. If we working on projects when there's three people, it's a lot easier to kind of split the load up a little bit better. And when it comes to four people and et cetera, it's easy. Now, I will say this: group projects and group assignments is things that like people don't typically do nowadays. Especially, I don't see it done as much. A lot of people, a lot of people don't gather in groups like they used to. And for one, and two, like it's always some BS, right? Like people don't want to deal with the hassle of, you know what, let's do something as a group, etc. Or people tend to run in smaller squads of three. Now, all my fondest memories, I gotta say this, all my fondest memories as a kid always was done in groups. So, full court basketball group, skateboarding with the crew, a group thing, football in the street, group assignment. We always tag, catch on, catch all group. Like we always had like stuff that we did as a group, as a team, as a squad, and it made it fun because everybody, brought their own flavor to the assignment, right? And I love that. I love it when everybody comes in and we working on a common goal as a team. And that's why I try to like plot and plan more team oriented stuff. And that's the kind of the goal of this year, is to put more emphasis on team group based assignments. So like when my birthday come up in May, I'm thinking about, let's do like a huge thing as a group, 5-on-5 or 10-on-10. We can do, dodgeball, we can do airsoft, whatever, but do it as a group. So like we really can get busy, because that's the one thing I just miss, the fact that like, yeah, we do everything in small, 3-man cells, kind of like Naruto and shit like that, and that's cool. But I'm missing those big, 10-on-10, 10-on-10, 15-on-15, like battle, like this team against that team, like the shit talking, the camaraderie, the storylines and etc. But this is episode 43 of the Just Send It podcast, fam. And I'm gonna leave y'all with this. First I'm gonna leave y'all with a couple questions. The first question is, what kind of person are you when it comes to group assignments? Are you the person that does all the work? The second person, the person that do some work, the person that's mad inconsistent, or the person who get the free ride? I already told you I'm the person that normally does the majority of the work. That's normally me. But y'all tell me, too. And what name a well, not name. What was a moment when you was in a group and you was like, yo, this shit is not it? What was the worst group you found yourself in? And like, tell me, how did you get out of that experience? Because you want to know what's funny, fam. And I don't want to rant with too long, but it's funny because like, I seen some groups just implode, fam. Like implode. Like I'm talking about throwing each other under the bus. I mean, going to the teacher and be like, taking the plea deal, like, yo, this, I did the whole project by myself. This is with like shit highlighted, like, hey, yo, I did this, and this, and like, here the text messages of me and them, and they ain't replying and stuff like that, like facts, like, I mean, like petty stuff, like throwing people under the bus. And I'm looking like, damn, throwing people under the bus, like I scandalous. You feel me? I will never ever work with them. You feel me? Like that's just not me, but that shit is fucking crazy, fam. Y'all gotta be careful out of the streets. What can I say? Madness. It's madness out here. But without further ado, this is episode 43 of the Just Saying podcast. First podcast episode of the year. Shout out to y'all, man. Oh my goodness. Outro music. What are we gonna what we gonna do for the outro music, fam? Y'all wanna listen to something from the pod? Not the pod, but y'all wanna listen to something from the album, from the EP? That's what y'all wanna listen to? Okay, I'll give y'all something off the joint. We gonna listen to. Actually, let's listen to this.
Fresh up off the intermission, always had to follow my own intuition and play my position while niggas was tripping in the kitchen. Raleigh was listening, yeah. Raleigh Esco, he was christening. Go. I done stuck to my conviction. I did. Everyone contribute. These niggas ain't listen. Life is a circle, motherfucker. These niggas ain't listen. Okay, then get your bread up. Still these niggas ain't listen. Can't catch my pearls amongst the swine, so I made a new wave and we the new wave. Me and Mega, yeah. Flying out to Cali, be back at noon. Escobar 4 is coming soon. Wait till I tell you who's in the room. Can I resume? Please some resume. So it's safe to say, y'all watching Escobar Way, Carlito kid. And I ain't going out like that nigga Lito did. I'm banking on my intuition. Y'all don't got my disposition or ambition, no. I had to really just trust me, you know. I believed. I seen things that others just couldn't see. All that led me here, right here, on the pinnacle of greatness. Mama, I made it. Mama, I made it.
The mission is to stay consistent. You took an intermission. Use my inner vision, won't second guess my intuition. Went from not having a pot to pissin' to niggas biting the style I use nitroglycerin. A whole fiend worse than a dope fiend. When I was young, I used to have coke dreams. Billie Jean weighed out on a triple beam. This shit ain't hard as it seems. Hollow hit your spleen, the flow flammable like kerosene. Get dough is the American dream. Not being facetious, I went hard for all the non-believers. I'm on like Kathy Lee and Regis. I caught the neck under the bleachers. No respect for the teachers. Sunday school, I debate with the preacher. No matter how far you go, yo, I'm sure to reach ya. So just leave it to Beaver, then light a big cohiba. I sever the neck of a speck with the cleaver. My white chick been feeling back, she got jungle fever. Yeah.